Okay, so I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I just wanted to get back into it really quickly since it's summer. You know, I'm pretty late to that this summer, but I wanted to make a couple of things. I've already made a few things off camera, but I want to make something on camera now, particularly because it's very complex. So I'm going to be making this gun, and I'm going to show you, it's sort of a freestyling how to make it. I'm not really showing step by step, but I'll be sort of freestyling it and using a couple of things I have at my disposal to make it. So I have some 1/2-inch tubing, you know, and then I'm also going to be using these skewers for different parts. Sorry. I also have this. This is some foam board. I'm going to be using that for a lot of the detailing. And then I also have a 2x4, which is right there. So, yeah, so I'm going to be doing that, and then also, and also for the trigger guard, this piece right here ends up being the exact same, this piece right here ends up being the exact same as the trigger guard on the gun, so it should be, you know, should be pretty easy to accomplish. So, yes, let's just jump right in and let's get started. Okay, so right here, I'm just making a simple cutting off a bulk piece that it's easier to use later on. Okay, so right here I'm taking a jigsaw and cutting out the broad shape of the actual handle, and then I switch to a smaller blade so that it'll be easier to take those tight corners. Okay, so so I have this piece right here, and as you can clearly see, it's way too big for the handle. So I'm clearly gonna sand that down. I'm probably gonna end up removing some material. I think with a chop saw, probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'll ask my dad if I can use it. But yeah, I'll sand it. Add you know, clearly add a little fillet, make it a little easier to hold, and then after that, we're gonna move on to the two barrels and the central piece around the trigger guard. But other than that, it's going pretty good so far. Pretty good. This was probably end up being the toughest thing, the toughest part of the actual build. So let's keep going. Okay, that was very dangerous, and that was very dangerous, and yeah, I'm very, very mad. It threw, just ripping all of that up. That's completely unsalvageable right there. Even if I had all the body filler I wanted, that's not gonna work. So I have to recut it again. And then to remove this material right here, where that line is, to remove that material, I'm just gonna use a hacksaw. And yeah. So I think that's the best plan of action. Yeah. So that was annoying. Never do that. So I had it right here, and it didn't hit one of the nails. That wasn't what happened. It caught on the wood itself, ripping the actual tiny ply that I had right here. It was like 1/8 inch ply. It was underlayment. It wasn't really even good wood. Yeah, so it was just super annoying. So never, ever do that. Never do what I did. Okay, if you need to remove material, remove it the safest way you can. And yeah, and also if you're removing material, make sure this is a small object, and I couldn't do it with the whatchamacallit I had. I couldn't do it with the tool I had. So make sure that you always want to have the right tool for the job. Okay, so it's great to cut with big tools, but just remember when you're cutting, be very, very careful. Unlike what this was, and it almost could have severely hurt myself. Could have gone very, very wrong. But that's a sad note. On a happier note, I'll just cut this. Cut this, remove the material, and we'll continue on because it's getting darker, and I need to hurry up with this project. Yeah. So let's get going. Okay, so I did a couple of things off camera because my iPad went dead, but I took out. Oh wow, that's way too overexposed. See if I can. There you go. There you go. Okay, so I drilled through there, and you can see those clear marks where it went through, and I had to drill it out to because I had to take away a large amount of material. So I'm gonna take a chisel and a hammer, and I'm just gonna bang it out. All right, so let's adjust this really quickly. All right, yeah, and time lapse starting. Well, actually, you know what? This is what I'll do. I'll do something like boom. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. So I focus. So I took away a large amount of that material. Away that material right there, and this is clearly definitely not a finish handle. Absolutely not. I need to do some massive amount of sanding, and I'm going to do that sanding on a grinder, but it's a jeweler's wheel is what it's called, I believe. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, except it's meant for metal, but I'm using it for wood, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, it should be fine. Just I would not recommend using it for wood. But yeah, let's get some montage. Okay, so we're basically at the right shape, as you can see that right there. Almost. I still need to do a lot of hand sanding. I forgot to add that fillet right there. I need to still do a lot of hand sanding with this, but feels pretty good so far. Just need a hand sand to get to its final shape. Probably hit it with an orbital sander, but I'd have to do that off camera. And yeah, so this is pretty much the handle, almost there. yeah, but I'm probably gonna end up doing the rest of the gun tomorrow. So let me show you some more montage footage, and then we'll go to tomorrow. Okay, so this is the final shape of the handle right here. Final shape of the handle. Obviously, I'm gonna add aesthetics and all that later, but that's for tomorrow. So let's go to tomorrow. Ready? This is the handle of time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Whoa, it's crazy. This is the next day. New shirt. And we're going to get started on the double barrels and a large portion of the aesthetics, and we're just going to try and finish it up today, okay? So let's get right into it. Okay, so right here I have the ruler, and I see the barrels. They're about 7 inches, it seems. So yeah, so I'm going to end up just taking this piece of PVC. This is another piece of scrap PVC, and then I have 2 pieces. Right, and so I'm going to take this, I'm going to mark it at 7 inches, right there, like that, so about 7 inches right there, and then I'm going to cut it, and then copy this cut onto the other piece of PVC, and we'll have our 2 barrels. So, time lapse starting. Okay, so I cut the barrel really quickly. Now I'm gonna copy it onto there, and then I'm just gonna time lapse through me doing most of the aesthetics. But I'll share with you afterwards some of the techniques I use. All right, let's go. Okay, so a little work off camera. I'm gonna get back to the time lapse. There you go. Okay, so I did a little focus. Okay, so I did a little work right there. I have these barrels done. You can see I have the aesthetics of the whatchamacallit done. Clearly, it's gonna be painted over, so it's gonna be a lot better. And then I'm almost done with the hexagon, with the the little holes that I'm gonna turn into the barrel, and I'll be time lapsing that right now. And then after that, I'll make the section that connects these 2 pieces together. And yeah. So let's keep going. two barrels, put all the aesthetics on these two barrels, and, two barrels. And then I have the handle, which I put aesthetics on. I'm clearly going to paint these, but yeah, now all I need to make is the midsection that connects the two. And let me just think I got it in my head. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take, let's take these two. And then we're going to just, there you go. Right there. As you can go to see, I changed my background. I added a midsection right here with two buttons, and then I added a sight right here. And so what we're going to do is, this is made of styrofoam, so the paint will start to melt the actual styrofoam if I just paint it like this. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to coat it in some acrylic paint, and with a few brushes, use the brushes right here, and then I'll do a quick time lapse of that, and then we'll get on to fun stuff with the spray paint. Alright, starting. Okay, so there's a slight problem with the acrylic paint I was trying to use, white acrylic paint. Let me show you. So right there, right? As you can see, it's slightly starting to melt the actual styrofoam like I was talking about before. And I do not want that to happen, absolutely not, especially how much work I put into this piece. So what I want to do is I'm going to end up going to get some Mod Podge and use that to try and make sure that, try to make sure that it doesn't affect it any worse than it already has. I'm really glad I just did that test piece. Yeah. So I'm going to grab some Mod Podge, seal that back up, and hopefully it'll turn out all okay. And if it doesn't, it's going to be it's not going to be positive. As you can clearly see, I know what I'm doing. So, yeah, this should hopefully work out. Hello. Okay, so I have the Mod Podge right there. Mod Podge, and then now I'm just gonna coat the gun right here. I'm gonna coat the gun in the Mod Podge, and then I'm just gonna do a time lapse of that, because this is what I'm actually gonna do. And then I'll probably only end up doing one coat tonight, and then I'll probably only do one coat tonight, and then I'll finish the rest off tomorrow. So let's get started. Okay, so I finished that. Oh shit, that was okay. That right there. Okay, boom. I finished Mod Podging all of that, and then so it should be good for right now. I'll just wait for that layer to dry. I want to say I'm good on that layer. Mod Podging, for what I'm using it for as a sealant, it's usually used to cover up objects, so and then glue them in place. I'm not using it for that. I'm using it for coating it. So I want to say that it'll be a good layer, but I'll wake up tomorrow morning and do another layer of Mod Podge just to be absolutely certain that it'll all be okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll go to the fun part, which is doing the actual spray painting, which will be really fun. Okay, let's go there. Okay, so I'm back tomorrow at about 9:50, and the coat finished. It finishes in 15 and 20 minutes. I just left it all night because I've never worked with Mod Podge before, and I kind of laid on a heavy coat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a second coat, and I'm going to hit highlight spots on it, like I'll hit right here and right here, and then a little around there and stuff. Basically just any part that styrofoam is exposed, to make sure that it doesn't melt when I spray over it. So yeah, I'll do that. Leave it for about 23 minutes, or 23 minutes, and then yeah. So let's do that time lapse now. Okay, so the Mod Podge coat finished on the gun, and then now we're going to spray paint it with some primer, and then finish it off. And I'm gonna shoot a really cool montage of that, and then this video will finally end. This video is so long. All right, let's go. Okay, so I finished priming the gun. As you can see right here, I finished priming the gun, and now since the gun is primarily silver, I'm going to hit it with a base coat of silver and then come over it with cherry red, like seen in the footage, and then I'll weather it off, and then I'll finish off this very long video. So yeah, let's get started really quick. Okay, this is an amazing gun. It looks so awesome. It's a little shiny, and some of the parts I slightly messed up. Plus, this area right here I didn't really want to do because it was way too detailed. But this was an extreme learning experience for me, and it was really awesome to make this. So yeah, if you like this video, click like and click subscribe right there. And if you want to watch another one of my videos, click right there. And if you want to see what the internet thinks you should watch, click right there. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks and bye.